Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Wrasslin for Life Network. This is the Dirt Sheet Debate, where we jump into a lot of the hot topics in wrestling. And it just so happens there's one really big topic that we all want to discuss and get into today. So myself and Big Nick, Anthony, we're going to dive into all of it today because CM Punk is back and so much more. So strap in, strap on, and let's go. Ding, 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 folks. Welcome back. Like I said, myself, Big Nick, and Anthony are welcoming you all on this wonderful Sunday. Wonderful for most of us. But
let's not talk about it. Move
on. We will get into all of that. But a big Survivor Series last night. The big news, the big buzz is Phil Brooks made his presence felt in yet another wrestling building. So we are going to dive into all of that. We'll talk a little bit of Randy, a little bit of R-Truth maybe, but we got all of that, folks. Welcome back, boys. How you doing today?
Doing pretty good. Excited about where WWE is headed in the future. So yeah,
I was doing fantastic, riding high on cloud 9 until my Buffalo Bills just lost right before we went live. But outside of that, you saw, we were both here live for Survivor Series last night. You saw our genuine reaction to that. That was a moment that is going to live on in the history books of pro wrestling.
Yeah, I think that's undeniable with this one, guys. And we welcome everyone here to the channel. Make sure you get in that chat, say hello, click like and subscribe. But Nick, I think you're spot on. I mean, this is one of those ones that are going to make every countdown. We're going to go back to it again and again. One of the biggest pops maybe ever. It was up there. The place was electric. You see the videos that were going around. And I know you and I kind of lost our mind. Anthony, how was it for you, man?
So for me, I was kind of laying in the bed. I was like, okay, this is over. Kind of cracked a smile because I was like, he's not coming back. This is great. Everybody can take a rest now. And then when his music hit, I slowly rose up and said, oh, so we really are doing this. We really are doing this. And then I cracked the smile again because I was like, okay, this is, for me, it was like, this is war a little bit between AEW and WWE. Mm-hmm. And then it was like, Triple H has something under his sleeve that no one knows about. And I just want to sit back and see what happens next.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think that's what everyone's curious about.
Yeah.
Now, though, just on a side note, has anyone checked in on Ryback yet? Has anyone checked on any of the AEW diehard fans? I know I've checked in on Ryback. If this man still put out well, he didn't return in AEW, so I'm not retiring. I'm like, how can you quit a job that you don't even work at?
Exactly. And I think I saw something that said he's going to give it 6 months. If he stays with WWE for 6 months, then he'll retire. And I'm like, but you don't even wrestle. The last time you wrestled, I don't know, in the United States, I think Obama was in office. I don't know.
No, I will give him credit. And I know, KJ, you have your strong opinions and feelings on Ryback. But this man is, at this point, is just trolling the internet 100%. That he still gets that reaction that many people pay attention to. I'll retire, and he just uses it to get interactions on Twitter and everything like that. Good on you. You ain't wrestling. You ain't doing anything else except for eating potato chips. So you can have that.
Yeah, no, I mean, I've been on the record as I'm not going to deep dive into Ryback because he's not really worth our time, but that's all it is. It's just trying to make people talk about him. There's a big moment happening, and then once again, he's not involved in it. So how do I make people say some stuff about me? What he doesn't realize, it's never anything good that we're saying about him, unfortunately for him.
But to go off of spiral out with how Anthony said, he even gives it only 6 months and everything. We have seen a lot of, or at least I think we all have seen a lot of people coming out of the woodwork of, oh, it won't last. Oh, have fun with that. Oh, see, he's a cancer again. No, he'll just, act up in a little bit over there again. I mean, Riddle even put out a thing of, hey, WWE, have fun with 0-2 CM Punk. Beautiful. Yeah, but at least Punk can get on a plane.
Man, I call that wishful thinking. So many people are hoping this is going to fail. And that's probably been the conversation between, oh, look, Punk and Triple H was, listen, things went wrong there. I really tried my best. I'm not the guy I used to be. And when I come there, all I want to do is help the young ones and make money. And I think that had to be part of it of they all want us to fail. We're going to steamroll this. Let's go. I had to be.
No, I kind of agree with you. And I saw someone talk about this a little bit on TikTok earlier today that CM Punk just needs to come in, kind of like do his job and then clock out. So clock in and clock out. And I think that's where he is at the point of his career. AEW is more built around young guys. WWE is too, but in WWE they have this culture and this establishment of like, we are grown adults. We're going to handle our business privately. We are going to go out there, perform in front of the crowd, and we'll handle our business behind the scenes without people kind of being involved. And I think that's where Punk is in his mind, in his mindset. Like, I need to be in a place where if we're having an issue backstage, it's going to be handled backstage and not be brought to the social media websites for everyone to see.
Now, going off of that, which granted, I think it is very fitting that it's now when it's a professional war on their organization, unlike AW tends to kind of seem like. And even Hunter said at the press conference, well, it's been 9-10 years. People change, people grow, people adjust, everything like that. I'm sure he's grown, I've grown, all of that. But what do we think about the Seth Rollins after the match, the everything there with Drew McIntyre? Well, speaking of openly talking about, you know, issues with CM Punk being there. Granted, you didn't hear any stories about, to like what Anthony was saying, you didn't hear any stories about people fighting backstage. Larry didn't get involved. There was no doors kicked in. There was no Crimea River, none of that.
Nope. Listen, and it's funny because you touched on one of the things on my checklist. So Seth Rollins, that almost got as much notoriety yesterday as the actual return. Like people were whipping it out, especially the critics of WWE, right? I hope not. But those who really looking for the negative in all this, they jumped on this real fast.
Mm-hmm.
If Seth Rollins legitimately has a problem with Punk, two things. One, he's a professional and he'll make it work. Two, he wouldn't act that way. Exactly. Right? If that way, he's not going to shoot that way. He's employed by a gigantic employer who would squat all over him. And then
Michael Cole was holding back Seth Rollins. Tell me in what reality that's a legitimate thing to where Michael Cole can hold back Seth Rollins. And that's not a work.
He didn't just doormat him.
Oh my God, this actor acted, and I'm not trying to call them actors, but you get what I'm saying with that of they're clearly working. It's clear. And I love that it's a debated topic. You can even see if you watch the fan video of like Drew running out too and everything, because everyone's saying Drew's pissed too. He's holding his back. You can see the camera guy like pretty much give him a sign of like to whip out before Punk shows up.
Yeah,
they're working everybody, and it's fantastic.
Exactly. And then with all the like the negativity with that, just one moment where Seth Rollins, like you can scroll through the feeds on social media and it was just the same video playing over and over again. Finally, after hours of being on TikTok, being on Twitter, I saw one video of Seth Rollins on Logan Paul's show. And he was talking about the issue he had with CM Punk. And the first thing he stated was, I'm a professional. And he said, if I have to work with CM Punk, I have to work with CM Punk. Yeah. But he said, at the end of the day, CM Punk came back to me. We apologized. And he said, if we work together, we just work together. And he said, I'm not a man that holds grudges. And I'm like, so we took that whole moment that happened at Survivor Series and we formulated it in our head and made it something that it's probably not. So I don't know.
But that's what makes it great, and that's why I love it, because that's the thing is, you know what's going to probably be sold out tomorrow night? Monday Night Raw. You know what's going to be can't miss television? Going head-to-head with Monday Night Football? Monday Night Raw.
It feels like the growth there, and I joked about this, I think, with both of you earlier today, is this proof that Kayfabe can exist in 2023? that the
Exactly.
future isn't all ruined and spoiled.
And
That,
you
you
had some
know,
shining example before all of this, but yes.
yeah, no, I think that's been the biggest thing is that Punk actually pulled off a ruse. Like Nick Khan, Triple H apparently taking over in the production, you know, to make sure it happened and went his way to keep it a secret. Partly why some people said, oh, it should have been Rumble, but they knew if they waited till Rumble, people would have known. So let's pull the trigger. But
Yeah.
Kayfabe might still be alive.
Right.
Well, you're 100%. You're now anticipating a match between Seth and CM Punk. There's even talks that that's the match that they're planning for at Rumble.
Yep.
You've got not only CM Punk, Randy Orton back, and Randy's also going to be on Monday Night Raw. Like I said, Monday Night Raw has now instantly gone from, and it's interesting. Could they have been holding back on signing off on the media rights and everything because they might have thought that this could have happened?
Oh, like for Monday? Like they're
Well, no, I'm
that
saying that they get CM Punk, and before we sign the media rights and everything like that, let's maybe see if we can make this work.
Yeah, this is a valid argument. I mean, they're trying to increase their value, and you see where they did it with NXT, spiked the ratings for a while. So then when you make your nice little presentation, you're like, look at the numbers we are doing or we can do. And yeah, Punk's a big part of that.
Right. Side note, though, I do want to get on this one comment because, by the way, shout out to everybody in the chat. We may not get to everybody.
Yeah,
I mean, if you want a super chat, it might help you stand out with this one, but we got lots of things to talk about. But who's the devil in AEW now? Jack Perry.
It would be terrible.
No, it has to be now at this point. He's literally been the devil. He ran CM Punk right into Papa Paul's arms.
Ooh.
And you've got, even on Twitter right now, I'm looking at the Never Say Never, the replay of him returning at Survivor Series, 25 million views on Twitter. You go at the video on YouTube, over 3 million views. They've changed their header to CM Punk on Twitter and everything. They are fully invested with this man, and he's done nothing. That's all anyone's been talking about today is Survivor Series WWE CM Punk.
That's true.
Absolutely.
That is true. I don't know. I'm kind of in agreement with Nick here that the devil is probably going to be Jack Perry.
No.
At this point.
Can't be.
It's terrible, but
Can't be.
I think this might be the first time I've agreed with Nick.
It can't be. That would be such a fucking letdown.
But okay, so I'll phrase it as this: does AW take a shot back, or what's your counter move? Do you ignore? No, I'm saying, what's your counter move? Do you ignore it? Do you? I mean, it'd be a great way to get the Young Bucks as heels is have them come out and do another victory lap because that went so well the first time. Or even, like I said, you do the Jungle Boy, you just lean into it. Do you maybe go that route?
I don't know how AEW would respond here. I really don't. I know they are going to respond because AEW can't keep WWE's name out their mouth. So something's going to happen on Dynamite. Someone's going to say something. But it's interesting that AEW has been put in this position now to actually respond to something big that has happened in WWE. I don't know if I've seen a lot of people say this is like the final nail in AEW's coffin. I don't think it is, but it's a big blow for your top star because CM Punk was the guy in AEW. They created a show for CM Punk in Collision, and he got fired, and he went back to your biggest competition that nobody expected to ever happen. AEW is going to say something, and they're going to be loud when they say it. They might be loud and wrong, but they're going to be loud in their response.
Amen. Yeah, no, absolutely. But the problem for Tony is he doesn't have enough ammunition. He's outgunned in this one. Like, he's got to realize, shit, we can't really play ball at that level. Let's just shut up and stop poking the bear, because a lot of, I think, what pushes CM Punk and Triple H together is Tony running around shooting his mouth off about how great AEW's been and how you guys screwed up a streak for John Cena and The Undertaker, and you're just ruffling feathers, and it's fuel to that fire. But how do you respond? What are you going to do? There's nobody out there that's going to cause this type of reaction.
Valuable because that is that a statement on a cultural locker room issue when it comes to AW of it ran Cody off, hypothetically, allegedly. It
Definitely.
obviously ran Jade off, allegedly, supposedly. It very clearly and openly ran CM Punk off. You not only have you had, you don't have the ammunition anymore. Your EVPs have almost helped pull the ammunition out of your gun to fucking fire back here.
Yep.
If it's not a death nail or at least a nail in the coffin, it's one of those of a real earthquake shakeup. Something needs to change here.
No, I agree. I believe past 2 to 3 years, I'm gonna just say 2 years, AEW has lost 3 big people. That's Cody Rhodes, Jade Cargill, which was their top woman basically in AEW, and then now CM Punk. I agree with both of you. Like KJ, I'm like, how would they respond? They have no ammo, but it's Tony Khan. Like Tony Khan is going to do something. He's going to do something. I don't know what it is, but
By New Japan.
Like exactly, he's going to do something outrageous.
Okada on Dynamite,
right? Something. I don't know what, but it's happening. I know it's happening.
Right.
They do seem like they've kind of sailed that far down the riverboat that they need to. That's just the nature of the beast when it comes to Tony Khan. I mean, how many major announcements do we get over like pre-sale tickets and everything? Yeah, now you just had CM Punk that you fired with cause and you feared for your life. Show up on your competitor. You're that bald asshole.
Well, you got a problem with it because, I mean, how much are we going to hear from AEW? Like I'm glad he's gone. I'm glad, like. I think internally this is going to get downplayed huge, right? Like, well, we didn't want him anyway. But realistically, and we've seen the jokes, we talked about it. This guy could be the top merch mover in 2 companies at the same time, and technically hold 2 belts in 2 companies at the same time.
Well, so do we want to talk about if that gets brought up?
That's on my list.
Does he show up with the red Santa bag at least? Does he not even have to pull it out? Or, I mean, it's got the X. Does the trademark, does the X get rid of it? I mean, didn't we have Flair with the WCW belt? Or that, was it WCW or NWA at the time? I can't remember fully. But he showed up with that world championship and went Hogan versus Hogan, champion versus champion.
Right.
And we also had Medusa back in WWE and WCW when she dropped the women's championship belt on WCW in the trash.
Oh,
so,
that moment. And have you seen the pictures with Punk's face superimposed on Medusa?
I have. That's why I brought it up. I have. So it's like, it's crazy. Right. So I was talking to a bunch of my buddies about this. What happens when CM Punk gets the live mic tomorrow? They're giving him a live mic. What does he say? Like Nick says, does he bring the bag out with him? Because they're going to let CM Punk say what he has to say. I really believe that they're going to let CM Punk say what he has to say with no filter. They might tell him limited cuss words.
They gave me a live microphone.
Exactly. He's going to say what is on his mind. So if he spills guts about AEW tomorrow with that AEW title belt in the bag, he doesn't have to show it. He just has to have it in the bag. It's going to be insane.
Sorry, go ahead.
And I think if I know when he first got fired from AEW, a lot of people said he was going to stay quiet. If this is his moment to finally talk, this is going to be big. It's going to be an explosion.
My question is there any chance that he sits on it, that he just plays the high road and goes about new business and does it? Maybe the subtle little dig, but not just walk past it.
Colt Cabana would beg to differ with that. I feel he has his whole career a little bit to think because of that podcast and everything. And not to mention, I cite the source of his first promo on Coliseum there. That very much, tell me when I'm telling lies. He won't say everything that he directly needs to say, but if he can hint and skirt around the edge as much as he can, and now you've got the TKO lawyers too. Oh, they're going to let him skirt around the line as much as they can.
Exactly. Ooh. And then on top of that, it's like if they let him say what he has to say and it just explodes on the internet, that is when Tony Khan has to say something. I feel like in that moment, Tony Khan says, okay, it is time for me to tweet about what really happened backstage at AEW.
Does he show us the footage? Does he
up.
show us the footage?
I want the footage.
Exactly.
Fuck the legal system. Fuck
the moment.
MAGA, Megan, whatever. Show us the footage.
Right. Now, somebody posed this question. It wasn't me, but the idea that you had a bunch of fans watching AEW hoping he was coming back. There was a part of the fans that thought, you know, Punk is the devil, baby. But now that he's officially not coming back, he's elsewhere. Does this continue to erode the AEW fan base?
Yes, because I mean, to some, he's still the devil. He just happens he's even more the devil now because he works for the other company. Like I said, you've had people now, like you even said, of maybe that's how Tony treats it. Of we didn't want him anyways, everything like that. Like that'll be the vibe that comes from AEW, and that's because that's what's coming from their fan base. Of you go ahead and have that problem, not this is going to be this is a game changer. Even this moment right here, if it ends in 2 weeks. You got the moment still.
Right.
He comes out, cuts a promo, walks off. That's all they paid him to do. That's fine.
Do your job.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it simple.
Exactly. And keep it simple. I don't know. This it's very interesting, y'all. And I just don't know, like going into the next couple of weeks, like what really after tomorrow and after he holds that live mic, we'll know. Like we'll know. That's kind of how I feel.
Oh, the anticipation. You're getting Randy back for the first time in forever. And again, everyone's going to be on pins and needles. Are you going to open the show with him? Is he going to show up later? Everything's going to be debated and discussed the way it has been all day today. Like, it's just crazy when you can almost feel the energy in your phone as you're going through Instagram and Twitter and all the shit. And it's just like, you feel the vibe. And I think the one thing I think we should address for sure is all the negativity. And there is a whole bunch. And anything that happens in wrestling nowadays, and you're always going to get one side or the other. My question becomes, how do you respond to those critics? Like, I mean, will he last? Is he a cancer? Will he hurt this company?
No.
I
don't think so. Sorry.
Yeah. No, I actually interrupted you. But coming from someone who is widely not a CM Punk fan, I'm actually giving him a second chance. That doesn't say I'm going to be a fan of him at the end of the day, but I'm giving him a second chance as a person that watches professional wrestling each and every week. I want to see if this guy can actually go doing his whole 3 year, I think it's a 3-year contract with WWE that he signed. Can he do this 3-year stint with WWE? I'm not going to say without any issues, because you're going to have issues regardless, but can he go the full 3 years without being fired, released, whatever you want to call it? You know, and I think he's up for the challenge. If he wasn't, he wouldn't have signed with the WWE. Plain and simple.
Well, is this not like his 3rd, 4th, 5th chance? I think even almost this year already and everything. Because granted, we wouldn't have this return if we didn't have him return to AEW.
True.
But no, I think in this system, they're not going to. He doesn't have to be the star. He is a star amongst the galaxy of fucking stars. He might right now be the biggest, and he's definitely going to get a prime spot, deservedly, I'll say. But that's going to do nothing but, again, to keep quoting the Hunter line, it's what's best for business. And that's what CM Punk's been trying to do. That's even like with all of those people that left AEW, whether it be Cody, whether it be Punk, whether it be Jade, they at one point wanted nothing but the best for AEW. And now they're going to clearly want nothing but the best for WWE.
Right.
100%. And I think part of that is, I know the argument of, well, he's had so many chances. Listen, people, life isn't always fair. And unfortunately, when you're really, really good at something and you garner the attention that Punk does, when you get to that level like Punk is, you get some leeway. You get away with some shit. So, you know, and we see it in all sports, right? The star athlete, you know, pisses off more coaches and breaks more rules in a lot of cases, but that's your star. So you kind of work with it. Yeah, he's got a lot of chances, but I think this is his last go, one way or the other. Whether it goes bad or good, this is his final sprint to the finish. And I think he has a point to prove.
Can I bring just something up though? Because I know
course.
obviously you and I, KJ, have been doing all the live streams quite a bit for quite a while now and everything. I know, and it's a point that we've talked about before, but like when CM Punk first came back, remember he was having matches with like Darby, Jungle Boy. He was having a lot of matches that I know you at the time thought he's too big of a star to be having these matches. He was fine with putting new talent over and everything like that. Like we forget that's how Punk started in AEW and was trying to help everybody get over and make the company grow. And then when no one wanted to listen to him or just instantly said you're a salty POS and everything, then things went sour. We're already going to see Seth Rollins is still right now one of the most talked about pro wrestlers right now. Drew McIntyre is one of the most talked about people right now, just coming out of this whole situation. Granted, it's all for being upset about it, but it's done nothing but draw attention and draw eyes. So I don't think that he's going to show up and try and, cause issues, not just kind of fly underneath the radar here.
No, I mean, I agree with that completely. Will he address the past? Like he shat all over the WWE. Now he has to circle back. Are we going to get any atonement from him in his address to the people of,
you will
I know
apologize.
I said it here. What do you think?
I feel like he has to address it just a little bit.
He
doesn't have to go into detail, but like, especially when he said to MJF, if you really think the grass is greener on the other side, you can do that 2-for-1, buy one, get one free WrestleMania thing. Like stuff like that, he kind of has to address because now he's back in the company where he said all that negative things about. Like you do have to address the elephant in the room just a tad bit. You don't have to go into detail, but you got to address it just a little bit.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of making up to do.
But that goes into his whole pipe bomb that we think he's initially going to probably kick off Monday Night Raw with. He is going to probably admit it and own up to it. I know I was making the joke of you will apologize. But at the same time, it's going to be interesting. Does he go babyface with this? Does he go heel and lean into that?
That's one of my questions. You've been very good. Get out of my head.
Well, we do this quite a bit. I've joked. I see you just about as much as my wife here. But Irish Neat, shout out for the super chat. Hope you guys had a great time this weekend.
What's up, Irish Neat?
Yeah, no. Back to what you were saying right before the Irish Neat.
Does he lean into the anti-WWE sentiment that he's said in AEW?
Well, people are assuming, like a lot of people have said, oh, here comes a Seth heel turn to make this story work. What if it's the other way around? Like we know people love him in Chicago, but I think we can make him heel and Seth stay babyface. I don't know.
I actually think CM Punk can play in between the lines. He can do both. Coming out the gate and then maybe down the line do a full heel turn, but coming out the gate, I feel like he can play both sides a little bit. Get some of the fans upset, get the other fans behind him. I think he can do it. And I would rather see that at the very beginning.
He goes that Roman of babyface and heel. He's the cool heel that you want to cheer for and everything.
Exactly.
Just try to, that straight up abrasive person. Yeah, no, I mean, no, absolutely. I think it will be very interesting, and we're assuming it's going to be Seth. And I mean, once Seth has the ability to, sorry, you threw me off there for a second. When you have the, Seth going out and tweeting, that's what I was going with. My bad. But when he starts tweeting, fight me, you're getting into that nice gray area of, okay, they're pushing this hard. And you gotta give him some credit for being smart and wise and him leaning into the potential rivalry between these two.
Well, is it interesting that pretty much they only found out as they're damn near about to walk out through the curtain of, hey, by the way, at the end of this match, CM Punk's going to show up. But then again, earlier before we were talking and everything, Anthony mentioned about how the men's war game seemed like it kind of just set up for a spot for Randy's return, which, by the way, that happened. And every time we've talked about the most important turn, I thought we were going to talk about R-Truth. And I love that Hunter even played into that joke we were saying the whole stream.
Genius.
Right. But it did seem the men's war game seemed like it was kind of like just float along till Randy comes out, hit an RKO or two, and then we go home for CM Punk to show up. Because how much are we talking about Survivor Series and how much are we talking about CM Punk showing back up?
Yeah, we definitely talking about CM Punk a lot more.
Yeah.
But that's Punk. He passed.
I know, but how good was Survivor Series if we didn't have that moment?
Survivor Series was okay. It was average. It was, it didn't suck. I enjoyed it. I really, really liked the women's war games. I thought Miz and Gunther over-delivered completely.
Yeah.
Santos, Dragon Lee, not bad. Pretty cut and dry. Rhea, Zoe, nobody really thought Zoe was going to win, so that's, just a filler. The men's war game match wasn't bad. It wasn't very intense. There wasn't a whole lot of, oh my God, like we didn't pop a lot during the men's war game.
Right.
But you got
almost
Randy,
like we had an earlier war games that might have taken away from those moments.
Or the women did it better, and we have to keep giving them the equal matches.
I think the peak of Survivor Series was the opener. To be honest, I really think that was the peak. And then if we're talking about without CM Punk being there, he never showed up. The peak of Survivor Series was the opening match.
Yeah.
And then you had the great match in the middle with, or I don't think it was the middle. I think it was the next match with the Miz and Gunther. Then after that, it would have just been kind of dragged out until Randy Orton came out, and you would have had that moment. That's how I feel Survivor Series would have went if CM Punk never showed up.
Well, that is when we had the Ruffles ad. We had the Slim Jim car that you thought was the tease for Randy showing up because we had a car pulling in and everything. We just, by the end of the stream, we just wanted snacks and everything because of the vitamins and so many commercial and product placements and everything.
Yeah.
But now, granted, I will give you the EO spot with the trash bin because I know you sent me the story earlier, KJ, of "Can you take me high?"
And I saw that. I was like, I get Creed on a women's war game match. I was like, this is going to be the polarizing as hell for Nick.
Well, they're just trying to do the bait and switch. But yeah, it was an all right show overall. Obviously, CM Punk showing up kind of carries it into a historic event, a monumental event, I would say, just alone. But how do we feel about Randy Orton's return? How do we feel about R-Truth's return? That's the real return I want to talk about.
The happiest moment of the whole night for me. I was thrilled. Like that is once he popped up, I was like, we can go home.
Right,
I didn't need anything else.
Yeah, it was definitely cool to see R-Truth. I kind of popped for R-Truth more than I did for CM Punk, actually. I was like, oh my God, it's R-Truth. It's been like a long time. That man is a staple of WWE at this point, and the comedic relief that we need sometimes. So yeah, I was definitely happy to see R-Truth.
I'm convinced that R-Truth is a guy that can just like jump through space and time and everything and just keep showing up. This man, there's pictures of this man with Tupac, and he's still wrestling in 2023.
No, he goes way back. He popped up last night. He looked just the same as the first time I ever saw him.
Right, 100%. That man's a vampire or something. That's what Hangman Page is trying to do. He's trying to get that Ron Killings. He's being a vampire.
Now, speaking of surprises, Randy did return. And I know it kind of got overshadowed, but Randy pulled up a chair, didn't seem to really be bothered by the whole situation. And I thought it was funny because you had Seth in the middle freaking out, and then Punk and Randy are waving to each other. Hey, bud. Hey, bud.
And the pose and everything. Yeah. Well, that's vet meeting vet. That's literally, you get the gray and the whiskers, and that's part of what I even said going into the War Games. I was surprised that we got Randy in the match, and that's maybe why they held off on him not being there. This is his first match back from major back surgery and everything. So War Games match. Maybe we just have Randy come out there, take a couple back bumps, see how it feels. You're good. You can still do it. You still get a reaction. and we go home. Granted, he looked swole as hell.
That was where I was. It was my next actual question.
Right.
How crazy was it to see Buff?
Dr. Nash would say, "You're on the juice."
Like he came out, and I was like, "Dang, he's been working out since the back surgery." Like he,
do it. I pick things up and I put them down. Yeah,
he looked insane. Like it was crazy. And he's already a big guy. You see how tall he is compared to everybody, but we're used to lanky, stretchy kind of Randy Orton. He looked so ready. Like maybe his back's good.
Can I say now with this, though, that I want Randy Orton versus Roman Reigns, and we get Roman to where he's sitting there and he's just talking into the camera, like, I'm going to send your father back home. You should have never came back and everything.
Yeah.
Oh, no, I would love to see that. I would love to see that.
Well, I mean, one of the last things on my list is the beauty of this, and we talk about the heyday of wrestling, the Attitude Era, kind of that big influx of interest. And they talk about every segment where you had, the killer's row of who's who of Hall of Famers. This is starting to feel like that with the WWE, as everywhere you look, and we talk about a very boring Monday night that a lot of people have given up on. Now Punk might be there. Randy might be there. You're looking through each segment and it's big name, big name, big name. It's good, man. It's great for business.
No, you're right, because you got Punk, you got Orton, you got Seth Rollins, you got Drew McIntyre, whatever they're cooking up with Drew McIntyre, because I do not believe Drew McIntyre is actually angry or anything like that. So there's a lot of like Monday Night Raw is kind of stacked now with a lot of top tier talent with the addition of Randy Orton and CM Punk. So I think Triple H knows what he's trying to do here, and he's trying to build Raw and he's trying to build SmackDown up to be top shows like they were in the past.
Well, you've got the media rights up for sale, not to mention Hunter's good at long-term booking versus short-term booking. We saw that with NXT. And on the other show, I'll see your CM Punk and Randy Orton and so on and so forth. And I'll show you Ric Flair and Adam Copeland and Sting. And it seems like the other companies just going that extra mile of buying, the used discount cars versus, the old vintage muscle cars that can still, perform.
Oh, that's my favorite. That is a great analogy. No, it really does seem like a problem, right? You're getting all these people in like that, Randy coming back alone was huge news. Randy returning to WWE to me was bigger news, bigger buzz than Adam Copeland signing with AEW. Like, okay, cool, he did it. Oh my God, it's Randy. Yes, hands up.
Sorry, teacher. Pause. But yes, well, Adam Copeland returned on AEW and the ratings went down. We were even on stream talking about how we think that they were announcing the Randy return early to get in front of the CM Punk chance and everything like that. The thought of CM Punk returning. And you had the line of the night, be greedy, be greedy. I want it all. Fucking right? Veruca Salt of wrestling up there.
Right? Why not? And we got it. We for once. When was the last time you can say we expected all of the following and we got it? Holy shit! They gave it all. Like they even threw in a little, bonus R-Truth. Like, hey guys, another little piece.
That was the most fan service and most I felt like an actual just wrestling fan. All of that, not the cynical, jaded wrestling fan that I portray here. Since Extreme Rules when Wyatt was coming back. Think about that's the two big returns that Triple H already has under his belt: Bray Wyatt and CM Punk.
Yeah, and CM Punk done it twice now. And yeah, actually, now that you bring up Bray Wyatt's return in the White Rabbit and that was one of my favorite moments when we were talking about favorite moments, and this being one of them. Yeah, it's right in that group of like holy shit moments that were just fun to do.
100%.
What else do I got? That's pretty much it on the topic. The Drew McIntyre thing, I think, remember the same thing going back to Wyatt. Wyatt stormed out. He's mad with creative, and we obviously know that was complete and utter bullshit and didn't turn out the way they were, speculating. Drew left he left angry. Well, he got kicked in the face and his team just lost. That's what he's supposed to whistle Dixie down the fucking
right. I like to sing about the sun and the moon and the spring. No, I think this is, I said it before, I think we're setting up to maybe a Drew versus Damian. Even if we didn't have CM Punk, I think we could have seen something like that. And I'm still telling you, I wish we could pull it up without potentially getting flagged or anything from YouTube. But go and look it up. If you watch when Drew's leaving and he's selling his back and everything, you can see the cameraman kind of like wave him off of saying, get out of Dodge. Here's your cue. Here's your spot.
Yeah. Scooch, scooch. We got someone coming out.
Yeah.
I guess one last thing I thought was really cool about this, and I know we're kind of circling back. So what, going back to the beginning here. I thought it was really cool how, they snuck them through the back door, and there still is speculation about who did and did not know. So I'm really hoping that they do more of this. But the fact that Triple H pulls this off, I mean, we talk the jokes, and we know Tony gets mad about Booker of the Year conversations that he starts. Dude, Trips is doing something different here.
No, he really is. And if Triple H is being in talks to being Booker of the Year, he absolutely is at this point. Like it's his. You can have it. And I don't even think, and I'm gonna be perfectly honest here, being a huge Impact fan, I don't even think Tony Khan is in the conversation this year with what Scott D'Amore has did with Impact. So it's Triple H, Scott D'Amore, and then Tony Khan. I'm gonna be honest here.
Clip that.
I was saying, it's gonna make the Golden KJs later very interesting. Very interesting. Yeah, but there's a reason this man was monikered the Game, and that's the thing. Is I think, regardless of Booker of the Year, anything like that, you can have that. That ain't even what I'm mad at. This is going to be a moment in time when we're talking about, we're still watching wrestling 10 years from now and everything like that. This is going to be a moment in time, like this kind of era of pro wrestling, where we're just getting back and forth. We're getting huge stories, everything. We've got CM Punk in WWE.
Who would have thunk it?
Triple H 100% is letting his whole vision play out. He's the fucking what's the dude from Marvel there? Kevin Feige. He's out there doing, phase 4 right now of the WWE universe.
What's a bigger shock? Punk and Hunter giving each other a hug, or Vince and Bischoff giving each other a hug?
That's such an interesting and amazing comparable, because that's really like fucking, if you were to put that in a time capsule, they're one and the same. It's that same thing of, oh my God, hell has frozen over. And even with Hunter putting out there on Twitter of, it's a cold day in hell. 100% they know it.
Right.
And that's what makes this great, is they know everything that's going on. So let's play with it. Let's use it. Let's fuck around with this shit and everything. Let's get the people going. Let's have them thinking that everybody hates that you're here and everything, when you're going to sit there and get the biggest reactions, and people are going to tune in to watch you, whether they love you or whether they hate you.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh, Anthony just said right. Okay.
I know. That's all I have to say. I can't even like say anything else, because he's absolutely right.
Oh, you're gonna tune into the car crash one way or the other,
right? Yeah, they're giving us a reason to watch, and actually, I think of some of this is actually helping AEW be a little must watch. Of like, we got to tune in on Wednesday and see what the fallout of all this shit is. Like, is Tony just running around in the bleachers? Like,
Tony is saying
he comes out, he's still got the white powder on his nose and everything. He hasn't gone through makeup yet or anything.
Like Tony is definitely saying something, and if it's not Tony, it's Tony through one of the wrestlers saying something on Wednesday. It's happening, and if it doesn't, I'm gonna be like, oh, okay, maybe Tony has finally decided to shut up and just actually work for AEW and grow AEW.
Yeah, that would be it. I think what we're gonna do now is I'm gonna rapid fire. Like, I know I held off on clicking some of these. I think we're just gonna rapid fire say hello to the people. And
can I interrupt real quick?
Wait, I got more.
Yes, I do. Well, no, because you said it in our fantasy football chat and everything of who had the better picture. I'll ask the audience here. Tony Khan with the finger poke with Doug Peterson after the Jacksonville Jaguars win, or Triple H and CM Punk with the double finger point picture.
Yeah. Actually, there's somebody I follow on Instagram. I think Anthony knows her. She had her picture with Tony, and they were doing the finger point. And I almost took that picture and was like, "Who did it better?" And it's Punk. But I did not do that.
Sorry, back to the rapid fire. Back to the people.
Let's talk to the people. We thank you guys for tuning in on a Sunday. I hope everyone's having a wonderful, I guess, the end of the holiday weekend or long weekend or the turkey-filled weekend. I know Anthony sees
in America, it's just the holiday season. We just have a whole season of the year. That's just
exactly from like Halloween all the way to Christmas.
That's the way to do it. But yeah, we'll talk to the people and then kind of see what they have to say, and we'll head out towards the door shortly. But let's see what some of these questions are. Everyone, question is: will Punk show up on Raw? We talked about that again. What's your final vote?
Absolutely.
Give it to me.
Do it. You think he will?
Yeah, go ahead.
Like walk around with it, like around his neck, like he did with the shoes.
Well, either way, I think we get a pipe bomb. We get something on the line of "Tell me when I'm telling lies."
Yeah, I think he's gonna hit for the heart if he goes. Part of me, like, it would be really interesting if he just overlooked it. Like, too busy arguing with Seth to talk about the Bucks. Nobody wants that. Nobody wants that.
No, respectfully, it's the blue balls of the situation.
Sorry, people are still talking about the Bills not doing so well.
Yes, thank you for rubbing that in as I'm watching a replay right now on Twitter of Josh Allen's touchdown. But yes, let's go Buffalo.
Right. Let's not talk about it. Who else we got?
You can have that. I can take it.
Yeah, we know you can. Seth was fuming mad. Yeah, I mean, man, there was a lot of F-bombs. You really don't get that many F-bombs out of the WWE.
Right.
But that's what made it work. But I still stand by Corey Graves, respectful, former pro wrestler and everything like that. And Michael Cole, we're holding back your world champion.
Like, what is Michael Cole going to do?
Right.
I like this one. Punk comes out holding a Ric Flair energy drink.
Ric Flair doesn't even do that, so why would CM Punk?
AJ wants us to know that Hulk Hogan talked CM Punk into going. We had a chat, brother.
It was all up to me, brother. They called me and said, "Hey, should we sign this guy, brother?"
Right. Keyshawn's got a great question. Are you upset we're not going to see CM Punk and Jeff Jarrett?
Hell no.
Why is Jeff Jarrett still wrestling?
Fact.
WrestleMania,
the most active current wrestlers in AEW, by the way.
Oh yeah, he really is. It's a fact.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, no, it's insane. WrestleMania 40, guys. It's now shaping up to be a beautiful, beautiful thing.
We could really get the fan theory if we get Cody versus CM Punk and we get Dwayne versus Roman. That's a realistically possibility now. That could happen at WrestleMania 40.
That's a possibility. I think for me though, I think we're leaning towards Seth and CM Punk and
you think it goes that
Cody
long?
and Roman. I think Triple H can do it. I think they can hold it out to that long.
Fair enough. Well, it would make sense if Cody's got to finish the story. If he went and he's doing it in a world heavyweight title feud with CM Punk and Roman still having another feud with Dwayne. Mm-hmm. It doesn't feel too much like he finished the story. He just wrote a different book.
Right. I think if you have CM Punk win the Royal Rumble, if you do it like that, I think you can push it until WrestleMania with Seth Rollins.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many options. Like you talked about it. Say Dwayne's not on the table. Randy Orton fits the bill really nice. Like, you still have Cody in the mix where, okay, Cody goes Roman, but what if
CM Punk?
Well, that was the question. Sorry, I clicked on, but I didn't read it because, but could it be CM Punk that goes after Roman? I don't know you kind of have the two stars now separated, like the two big kind of.
But he might be a free agent.
Who?
Punk.
Yeah, technically.
He may not be tied specifically to Raw. Granted, it's not like the brand split fucking matters, but I will say, though, has this not made the 2024 Royal Rumble one of the biggest premium live events for WWE in quite some time?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
because realistically, who could it be? It may be Seth in it. It could be him, or it could be Cody. It could be Randy. It could be Drew. It could be Punk. I could be Brown. I could be Blue. All of that
shit. Whoever it's going to be, I just know that I'm going to be the loudest fan at Tropicana Field,
bro.
In January.
Yeah, you better get some T-shirts and everything before you go.
Yeah, we got to get you some swag. We're living in the multiverse of wrestling, fellas. Imagine if R-Truth interrupts the pipe bomb.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna let you finish.
Somebody had a question for Anthony. I think it was Boston. I pulled it down. It was for you, asking where the Viagra and the pole matches.
Oh, I did see that. So he asked 2 questions. Where the Viagra and the pole matches? That is being postponed until next Sunday. And then I think he said he watched the Thanksgiving horror movie Pilgrim on Hulu, and he said it was wild. It is very wild. So if you haven't watched it, you should.
Now, on a side note, though, isn't that the whole purpose, though, of Viagra, is that it's not to postpone things and everything?
Plan accordingly.
Right. I'm not going to keep going.
Rick Perry says, KJ's face last night and Nick's last night. Don't you dare ruin it. I got to see it first.
Well, you can go on the channel and see it.
There you go.
There you go. When you don't watch this, go watch that.
The consensus is quickly becoming I am KO or KO's older brother.
I have not seen what you speak of, sir. I joke about it that you are his doppelganger.
People on YouTube just like, that guy freaking out about Punk looks like KO. I'm like, it's not. Enjoy the show.
Fair enough.
What else we got in this chat? I'm trying to rifle through. Remember, folks, we are back at this tomorrow night. It's going to be an insane night here on the channel. Can't wait for Raw. And how often have we said that in the past?
Right.
Let's go Monday.
Well, everybody's been talking about how the Monday night ratings have been going down because of obviously football. We're getting closer to the playoffs. We've got Monday Night Football, etc., etc. Now, boy, howdy, let's look at them numbers when it comes to Monday night tomorrow night.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting.
It's going to be very interesting on Tuesday when those numbers come out to see what we get.
Right. Yeah, and that's a good question. I want to see, because the buzz is there. It really is. And then they'll probably do what they did before of like, he'll show up on Friday just for shits.
Why not? Fuck it.
Right. That's what I said. Be greedy.
All right.
This is about Drew just working the sheets. Yeah, and I mean, is this a continuation of Drew? Like, he's been falling deeper and deeper into the heel darkness. Is this just pushing him further to his breaking point?
Yes.
That's what I think. Yeah, short answer, yes.
Did you see the thing going around that said Roman Reigns was in the back and he also had to be restrained from
No,
I have not seen that.
I'm like, wait, we know you're lying. Roman doesn't go to wrestling shows.
Right. Well, when you even have everybody saying that it's damn near obvious that Seth's a work, the question becomes on if Drew's a work. I say it is. I don't see why it wouldn't be. But again, we don't hear any stories about no one kicking anyone's door in on a locker room, no one getting hit with a chair, no one's dog is in danger, no one feared for their life, none of that, because it's a professional organization.
Yeah.
Some multi-billion-dollar company.
Yeah, no, completely. And I think what you get with the WWE, like where it went wrong with AEW, is that let's say Punk shoots on somebody, hurts their feelings. Well, they then tell who they're working with, who is a boss and a corporation, and they sit down with the gentleman and say, hey, you can't really be doing that. What happened? We got to make business. Where in the other company, that never got addressed. That never got dealt with. You let basically that napalm spread.
Can I counter, though, also, and agree with you, but also mention that I think there's more people in WWE that can withstand that fire and fire back just with the same quickness. as there is in AW. Everybody might get their feelings hurt. Everybody might get offended by something. Everybody might be upset because our baby faces, the guys we like, didn't win.
No, I agree with you there. I think in WWE there's a lot more of a backbone. Like nobody probably even knows this because it's not talked about a lot. But Sasha Banks had an issue with Alexa Bliss, but they worked together.
Yep.
Nobody talked about it, but Sasha Banks had an issue with Alexa Bliss. They worked together. They made magic happen in their feud. It's with WWE backstage area, it's a corporation. They run it as a business. When you talk about AEW and it's backstage, it's like high school. It's like high school, literally. You said this to me, I said this to you, so let's go out in the schoolyard and fight. That's basically what it is.
Is it funny to anyone? And if anyone can think of another situation that I'm misremembering, please let me know. But the last time I remember there being a fight backstage in grill position or anything like that within WWE, it involved one Chris Jericho, who's currently signed to AEW, trying to go at Brock Lesnar, of all people, of all human beings.
Right.
So I think that says that how WWE handles their backstage locker room situation versus the other guys.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, and I know a lot of fans don't want to hear this today, but if this continues, and listen, I know people are hoping for this to fail, but if it doesn't, if it keeps going this way, it's egg on the face of Tony Khan. It's egg on the face of the EVPs. They mishandled the situation, and the victory lap plays so bad right now. And your job, your goal is supposed to be make your company a success. And this is a blemish, and you have to recover from this now because you want to compete with this company that you're, like we said earlier, you're just giving them all the bullets, the better bullets anyway.
100%. You, like I said earlier, you have your own EVPs taking the rounds out of your rifle here. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You have it. I think this is the ultimate litmus test of who was really the quote unquote cancer. I don't want to keep using that word. The issue, the problem backstage in AEW's locker room.
We'll find
because if CM Punk can go to WWE and it's all hunky dory and we all, on camera and on screen, we'll sell everybody that we have all these issues and we hate each other and we'll make millions of dollars. But backstage, there's no issues. There's no fighting. There's no suspensions. There's no Cry Me a River. There's no fired with cause, anything like that. But with AEW, if it still keeps going the way it's been going, I think we know where the truth really lied in that situation.
It's definitely interesting that you say that because I truly do believe time would tell if CM Punk was actually the problem in AEW. And I think I'm like I said, I'm a little hopeful. I'm hopeful that time tells that like all CM Punk was trying to do was help the younger talent in AEW, and it just didn't go the way he thought it should go.
Yeah, I think he had the best of intentions. And again, like now he reunites with a Jade. And the question before that I wanted to read out was, again, let's say I believe that MJF's signed, but until it's confirmed, would this not be yet possibly another thing that would entice an MJF and others to follow?
The name on the contract does say Max, but it says Maximus Decimus Meridius instead of Maxwell Jacob Friedman. That's where I think we go with this, though, because if I'm MJF right now, why am I not on the first fucking call with Connecticut of my buddy Cody's there, Phil's there, and we can make a fucking shit ton of money on Monday Night Raw. Roman can still do whatever on SmackDown. You could still do the Tribal Chief until that man's, gray in the face. But 100%, why would I not go there? Jade went there. Like we said, there's so many people that have already jumped ship that have been the focus of AEW. Be interesting if that's the bridge that sells him to go over there.
I think, and I said this when Cody Rhodes got hired at WWE, went back to WWE, is that Cody Rhodes was an EVP. He knows when those contracts expire.
Uh-huh.
He knows. So that man,
It's insider trading.
that man could be the one to pull some of those folks. Even Jade has came out and said, like, one of the main reasons was I talked to Cody Rhodes.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Could that be part of why Punk's here? I talked to Cody Rhodes.
Maybe. But I think, and we talked about this, I think yesterday, Nick, of Cody being like that ambassador. And again, like Anthony just said, you know, hey, you know, whatever it was, October 5th, Jade's free. You might want to have a conversation with her before she's not free anymore. Right. And, you know, and you heard Tony describe how the negotiation went. Can I have money? Here's your money. Can I have more? Here's more. Nah, I'm still going to go there. Bye.
Like, exactly. That's literally how it went.
But is that not an indictment, though, on AEW's, like I said, its locker room, its culture and everything, of you're willing to overpay, and they'd still rather say, nah, you can have that. That ain't even what I'm mad at, and I'll just split and go over here.
No, yeah. True. And you know, going back to Jade, she's also had said that she felt like she should have been in the mix with the top stars as well. She wasn't getting that. And like I said, that one call.
Well, we're still waiting on WWE.
That one call to Cody Rhodes changed her mind. And I think Jade is going to be big. I really do think Jade is going to be big in WWE. I think they're really kind of waiting until the Royal Rumble, even if it doesn't happen at the Royal Rumble. I think they are waiting until the Royal Rumble to really make, you know, the moment for Jade Cargill.
Yeah, I agree with you, Anthony. And it came out in the media scrum when Triple H was asked about Jade. He explained, like, we exposed her to the fan base. And when she comes back, like when we relaunch her, we're, you know, it's going to be huge. It's going to be, you know, the rocket on the proverbial back. She's going to take off. And I know a lot of people, it's buyers. It's not. And again, that's why you're training this woman. She's already a naturally gifted talent. What is she going to be able to do in that ring after October, November, maybe parts of December? Training 5 days a week, 3 days a week. Whatever it is, what she's doing right now, they're only fine tuning. They're enhancing their investment.
I will give you that, and I think he had some line. I can't remember the exact quote, but he was saying of she does kind of need a little bit more development. That's through no fault of her own, kind of halfway taking a passive aggressive shot. But I do think that was an admission of she does need a little fine tuning. She does need to, you know, learn how to work the WWE style. You know. Do some time in the performance center, which AEW does not have. So it is valid that she probably needs some seasoning and everything like that. I'm willing to wait on it. Like you said, it's not every first round draft pick has to be an instant for opening day starter.
Yep. But I would argue even in WWE, like some of the blue chippers, John Cena came up through developmental. Roman went to developmental. Seth came up through developmental. We talk about the big four with Batista and everyone else. Like, so there's always, like, it wasn't just like, here's John Cena, he's a superstar. No, he was a dude with short shorts and a weird haircut. And then he developed. So
no, he was ruthless aggression.
For sure. So do you think potentially with this whole the backstage is angry at Punk and nobody wants him there, could they lean into that and maybe mirror his AEW journey in a WWE storyline?
Oh, yes.
Do it, right?
Triple H is the perfect person.
Explain for me.
Sorry?
Explain for me, please.
So, you know, being smart and kind of cheeky about it all, but, you know, Seth hates him. Drew's mad. Roman's, like, everyone's mad. Nobody likes him. He's a pariah. And all kind of the bullshit that he went through with the Bucks in that, you play out that real life storyline on WWE in a kayfabe storyline of
okay, so you just
Punk's fighting again.
One of those of, you know, we'll just get Seth Rollins to play the role of Matt Jackson.
Yeah.
Or sorry, he'd be more Kenny Omega. So
right,
and I can see WWE going as far as, since they have all the news outlets, is spreading their own drama, even though it's a work. you know, I can see them doing it. I can
Who would
definitely
have
see.
thought? Sorry, I know KJ, you mentioned this earlier, but who would have thought in 2023, heading on the doorstep of 2024, kayfabe would have a resurgence in professional wrestling with social media at its heyday, arguably Twitter, everything like that. That we've managed to still be able to write wrestling. That kayfabe might still exist. There might be hope. There might be it might be on life support, but it might be still alive. Might be still breathing.
Yeah. No, it gives me a lot of hope as a wrestling fan because I feel like that happens too much, and we've talked a lot about it with Tony of just be a poker player. Put your cards a little to your chest. You got to know when to hold them. Got to know when to fold them, brother. And he's got to figure it out. I think that pulling something like this off, like I mean, remember when Roddy showed up on AEW and nobody even knew he was released? That was beautiful. Roddy's not the biggest name, but it was a nice surprise.
Right.
So if they could do more of it, and again, having Seth freak out and have it go viral and getting all these hits on it and having people guess, that's the best part of wrestling. That's the best part of the business. That's what I'm hoping this continues to do.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
All right, let's. I think we're good. We were planning to be here for 25 minutes.
Yeah, good luck with that. Sorry, I got to get my karaoke spot in. You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them,
Right.
know when to walk away.
I set him up. He knocks him down, folks.
Right.
Sub KJ and Nick, can this possibly be? Can this be the possibly AJ Lee and Mickey James possibly Mercedes possibly Women's Rumble again?
Possibly.
It's gonna be interesting. Possibly.
Possibly.
Could we see AJ, Mickey James in the Rumble and Mercedes? Ooh, she's the next one. She's juicy.
No, I would rank those in order. Mickey number 1, AJ number 2, Mercedes probably 4, 5, 6, 7. Hell no.
No, I agree. I believe, at least with Mercedes, I believe she wants to spend time in Japan. I think she actually just got citizenship in Japan from what I've been reading. And her initial dream in wrestling was to wrestle in Japan. So I think you give Mercedes 4 to 5 years in Japan, maybe she'll come back to the WWE, but I don't think it's this quick. The other two, I forgot. AJ Lee and Mickey James.
Yeah.
I can see Mickey James coming back real quick and
Yeah.
and being in the Royal Rumble. I think she has a better relationship with the WWE after the whole being released in the trash bag scandal.
Yep.
AJ Lee, I don't know. I really don't know.
I don't know if she wants to, but it'd be interesting if she changed her mind.
Yeah, I think if she wanted to wrestle, she would have wrestled in WoW when she was, the executive producer. So if she didn't wrestle there, I think she just wants to be done.
She could. I mean, she might just like doing her other projects and her creative stuff and going that direction. You're not wrong at all. But Mickey seems like you've been begging for Mickey since January.
Oh, don't worry. I was letting you go because I got things to talk about.
Oh, here we go.
Well, no, because I think Mickey fulfills the prophecy 100%. And AJ Lee, I think she'd be arguably almost more a contender for the Hall of Fame class than I'd see her show up at the Royal Rumble. Granted, I know the 2024 class pretty much seems like it has to be like the Wyatt family Hall of Fame ceremony, but I think it would be a nice even little play of if you want to do it AJ kind of had the little psycho character or whatever, you just kind of make it like a horror theme Hall of Fame. Sasha Banks, I think she just would rather be on Being the Elite. She 100%. She wants to be some extra BC list celebrity on some fucking Turner show. I think she ends up in AW 100%. She likes that Tony Khan will stroke her ego. Pause.
Mercedes?
Yes.
I think the thing with Mercedes and that decision is that in WWE, she's in a shark-infested tank. When she goes to AEW, she's the superstar. She's the belle of the ball. She's the prom queen.
Much like most of AEW's roster.
My question there is could she be the one to fix the AEW women's division? It's getting better, but is the one, because I thought Saraya was going to be the one, and that didn't happen.
You picked that
So
horse?
I don't know.
You said horse, right?
For me, it's
Yes,
like,
I said horse. What you heard is what you were meant to hear.
for me, it's
I had
like,
to check.
why would she leave what she thought at that time was not a good women's division to go to AEW, which is not a good women's division? And I've been saying that for months. I don't get it. I really don't. That's just me.
She could get exposed a little bit, and again, she's not insulated going up against other, top tier talent that, when you're in the ring with a Charlotte Flair, you're gonna look good. I'm not taking away what she brings to the ring, but when you're in there with Charlotte or Bailey or Becky, it's a big drop off when you're in the ring with Sky Blue, Saraya, Ruby Soho. It's a different animal altogether. You got a good point, man. Like, maybe she is just building her value. She's trying to show that she has value. She got to stay off the injury shelf.
But I do think you're 100% valid. Sorry, Anthony, but I think you're 100% valid, KJ, of that. She would be amongst at least another the Sharks when it comes to the WWE roster. She can still hold her own with a Charlotte and everything, but she's not the end all be all, much like she would if she was in AEW. I think if she went to Impact, like if she teamed up with Naomi, I don't know if that would be the big enough platform for her. Like I said, I do think there is part of her that just, much like certain other people in AEW, you need that gravitas, that grandstanding, that I'd rather be, the biggest shark in a medium pond than, an average shark in a big pond.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of plays into what I was suggesting as well. But this one's interesting as far as kind of the opposite idea of what we talked about with AJ of, she's around wrestling a lot. Maybe when there's smoke, there's fire. She might be more inclined to join because she's still around it so much. But she hasn't done it yet, and I kind of agree. Why would you not just write yourself into WoW?
Yeah.
Free FTR. No, I have no sympathy for FTR. None.
Really?
None. They signed the contract. They made a big deal about we might leave. We're going to do what's best for our future. And then they signed the contract. And I would argue outside of a Bullet Club rivalry that lasted 2 weeks, what have they done?
Very valid. Well, I mean, they were 2023 Tag Team of the Year, but is it, the name on the, do we go back again to the name on the contract says Dax Hardwood, and I'm Dax Hardwood.
I signed it before my Blue Chew.
Right.
But what else we got? I don't know, folks. I feel like we're gonna wrap it up and call it. How you guys feeling?
I'm feeling good. Yeah.
You feeling good?
I feel like we covered a lot. I feel like we covered a lot of ground.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm like a wind-up toy,
some ground that we didn't even want to cover.
Yeah, no, we can tell, Nick.
Yeah, I know.
But yeah, no, I mean, folks, Survivor Series might have gotten saved by Punk, which, I mean, he's the Second City savior. So how cute did that all work out? But great Survivor Series. What was your rating out of 10 for Survivor Series, Anthony?
I would have given it a 7.5, 8ish.
Okay.
I would have, because the first two matches hit. They really did. They set the tone, but the tone just didn't last until the men's War Games match in CM Punk.
Mm-hmm. And you just went 10s because we didn't give a shit what happened.
Right, yeah.
All of them.
We didn't skip that.
There's
I think I did the
comments,
final
guys.
tap of just these go to 11. I'm just glad that, honestly, and I know we talked about this before, CM Punk would have really been, the voice of the voiceless, because after last night, you and I woke up very much voiceless out here. Just turned back into time of it, back into puberty here, the voice cracking.
Yeah, it's funny watching the playback and just hearing the cracks. Like, just by the end, you can't surprise us like that at the end of a 5-hour stream. It's kind of rude.
Right, you asshole.
How dare you? Victor, we're sorry we missed you, but we will remind you when we're live, especially on these shows. You want to stand out, you want to click those super chats, get in there so we can see you, be bright and colorful. But we are back for Raw, which arguably could be a historic Raw in WWE times. Randy's supposed to be there. Punk's going to be there. God, Truth's going to be there. And well, not God himself, but you never know at this point. Trips is signing everybody. Any final thoughts, gentlemen?
No, I don't really have anything. I think we covered a lot. So yeah, I'm good.
Look in my eyes. What do you say?
All right, folks, go check out. Are you going to do your little gimmick?
Do you want me to? Our shit is real. Our shit is raw. Our shit is all authentic. When you talk about that wrestling, I'm going to put that for life with it.
See you on the flip side, folks. Remember, we watch more wrestling than anyone else, and we do it on a different level. Good night.